Good evening. Our guest tonight is Dr. Kumar Rupesinghe of International Alert. Dr. Rupesinghe, thank you for being here. You've been very much in the news these last couple of weeks. People are hailing you as a peace negotiator, which you have subsequently denied. Tell me first, what is the mandate of International Alert, of which you're Secretary General? How, when, why was it formed?
Well, the mandate of International Alert is to assist in resolving conflict, to create dialogue between parties to conflict, and to assist in the prevention of violent conflict. A mandate which was discussed and Alert was formed in 1985.
Okay.
At a point at which we felt that increasingly wars between states will reduce and decrease, and wars within states and between people within states would be on the increase, and that there was no non-governmental capability to address those issues. And since 1985, this is now our 11th year, we have become, I think it's recognized as the leading non-governmental organization in the field, and are involved in about 13 conflict situations. We have training programs for conflict resolution, training diplomats, military people, policymakers, guerrilla movements in negotiations, providing them with skills in negotiations, etc. And we have a worldwide group of experts. We relate to organizations worldwide, from the United States to Africa to Asia to Latin America, and we work with and through other non-governmental organizations.
Did you say you help and advise guerrilla movements?
We assist and help guerrilla movements to think through how to develop a peaceful negotiation strategy. Often we may want to talk to guerrilla movements about adhering to the law of war and humanitarian law, and we try to talk to guerrilla movements about the importance of respecting humanitarian law, not attacking civilians, protecting children, the whole question of hostage, etc. And through those dialogues, we hope that guerrilla movements will also adhere to international norms, and that also we have been able to engage ourselves in.
What has been the experience of Alert International and your particular experience in resolution of conflicts? Now we're reading about conflict resolutions. Guatemala has been the most recent, then Philippines in the region, El Salvador, Sierra Leone, the big ones, Middle East, South Africa. Could you tell us similarities, perhaps?
I think that what we are now seeing after the Cold War is a situation where the superpowers could not become patrons to engage the Cold War through proxy wars.
All right.
So that you had Mozambique, Angola, Cambodia, Afghanistan, many situations where the superpowers actually used the third world to play their superpower rivalry. And that period has ended.
So the unipolar system is the contributory factor to this
The unipolar
resolution.
system has, on one side, the Cold War contained the conflicts, in one sense. In one sense, and manage them. But today we have come to a point where it is no longer possible to contain these conflicts in a way. Let me explain that a little bit more. During the proxy wars, there were patrons who supplied weapons to either side of the conflict. Today those patrons do not exist. And I think, therefore, what you find also after the Cold War is that the nature of warfare has also changed. What we have today is basically in many parts of the world, particularly in Africa, in parts of Asia, etc., where both the army and the guerrilla try to find their resources from the population, either through taxing the population or through looting the population or through securing more and more of the resources to wage war from the people themselves, because they cannot go to a superpower to obtain those resources. Now, in that situation, I would suggest that after the Cold War, we are seeing a decline, the end of warfare in many, many situations. The proxy wars are over. Mozambique has concluded the peace. Angola has concluded the peace. Cambodia has partially concluded the peace. And what we have also seen is the end of warfare in the entire Latin America, where most of the new democratic regimes have been able to create the space for opposition. And I think yesterday the agreement in Guatemala, as well as the agreement in El Salvador, basically gives expression to the fact that armed conflict as a means of exploring differences is no longer in the agenda. So we are in a way witnessing a new global situation where more and more people, governments are interested in resolving conflicts, in ending these conflicts, so that the normal course of development can take over.